Number two, oh, this is so cool because it just kind of plays perfectly into what we were talking about, which is the past does not define you. It does not define us. And this is so important. I think, and as we've worked and we work with shift clients or clients in general, we find that, many perceive the past as the determiner of their present. And that's for them, or whether it be for themselves or the events that shape them. And we often believe that or understand someone's past explains their present behavior. However, when they look at the research, it suggests a kind of a more liberating truth. And this is so good. And this is what Joe Dispenza talks about quite a lot, which is your present shapes the meaning of your past. The present shapes the meaning of your past. So when you recall a memory, your brain reconstructs it from your kind of current perspective. And that's what I said earlier, which is, but the filters that we look at the past through are different today than they were 10 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, probably even 10 days ago. So I think when we can have that realization, you start to realize you can reframe and recreate your past. And I know that some of the work that you do with your clients and especially your athletes, and while we start to understand that, our past has been pretty essential, it's really the present that is shaping the meaning of our past. So for us to grow and evolve, we have to become a little more flexible in our thought processes and be willing to kind of reevaluate my past or your past, which I did when I had that whole story around my dad where I was such a victim, bad
But
dad.
what's super cool about what you just said is that if you want to know what your thought processes are and what your mindset is, look
Mm-hmm.
at where you are today.
Mm-hmm.
Look at where you are today. This is the reconstruction and the construction of everything that you've done to get here. If you don't like it, then you have the opportunity to shift it and move it forward today.
Right now,
But
that's all you got.
right now, because
Mm-hmm.
what's curious to me is that if we don't like where we're at, and we don't see that we have the power to change it or to shift it or to at least reconfigure and recontextualize ourselves going forward, because we have to identify with who we are in the past, then we're surprised that we're not abundant or we're not living the life we want or we don't have the house we want or the relationship we want. It's because we're living in the past and we continually empower that past and make it true. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't like where you are today, check your story.
Mm-hmm.
Because you may be more committed to your story. You may be more committed to your story than you are to a compelling and beautiful future for yourself.
That statement right there, you may be more committed to your story. And this is something that, is interesting when we're working with our own coaching clients, is that, we often say, we don't want your story. They automatically go to the story. We go, no, we don't care about your story. It doesn't matter. And sometimes it does. So I don't want to minimize that. But sometimes, no, we don't need the story. We're working with you today. So let's work from here forward. Let's not really have some whole conversation about what the past was. Sometimes it's necessary, but rarely, I think. What's your thoughts on that?
For me, rarely. I've had some pretty big conversations with people and clients that, and this is no disrespect to my industry or to the work that people do, but many modalities in the performance coaching and the psychology world is about uncovering and discovering and bringing up all the stuff and the why you're like this and why you don't have everything you want and why you're in so much pain. And again, I don't want that to come across minimizing, but the truth is that there's no more why. If you really are committed to choosing and creating a different trajectory for your life, the why no longer matters. And the
Mm-hmm.
why becomes the barrier to you moving forward. If you need to keep discovering the why, and you've got a psychologist or a counselor or somebody that's going to keep getting paid every time you come to a session. And I have a friend that has spent $175 per hour over the last 25 years
Mm-hmm.
to talk about why I'm like this. And I go,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but you're totally perfect the way you are. Why can't we just look forward and create what's next? But I need to know why. I'm like, what if you don't?
Right. Well,
What
I
do you
think
think?
there's another side of that, which is what I got to many years ago was that I wanted to know why, but I didn't need to know why in order to move forward. So, kind of as I continued to evolve and grow and make the commitment to grow, the why started to kind of show up in weird ways, in odd ways. And then I was able to reflect and go, oh, well, that makes more sense. Okay. And that all that was, okay, that's why that is. That's how that showed up. But it wasn't preventing me. I didn't need to know why before I move forward. I think that's the key in all of
Well, you
this.
stop being a victim. You stop being a
Yeah.
victim to the
Yeah.
why. And I think
Yeah.
that's I remember that shift is that when you really got that the gifts that you learned and the story that you were telling yourself were two different things. And when you
Yeah.
told the truth, and I remember, oh my
You
God.
used to piss me off though. I remember you used to piss me off because I'd go, I just want to know why. And you'd go, you don't need to know. And I'd go, yes, I do. And those were early days in our relationship.
But it
And
stops your growth if you need
oh,
to know why.
you were such a
Totally
bitch.
stops your growth.
Okay.